Hi, and welcome back to On Track Tips. My name is Jason Weiser, and you're listening to Get On Track, Stay On Track. And we're helping your small business one expert at a time. And this week, our expert is Sue B. Zimmerman. I am so excited to have hashtag the Instagram gal and hashtag the Instagram expert on our show today. We're going to be talking about Instagram strategies for small business marketing. Sue's a master at Instagram for business. Not only has she been invited to present at some of the top social media conferences, most recently Social Media Marketing World, she's also the author of a #1 selling ebook, Instagram Basics for Your Business. And she's the founder of the online Instagram course, Insta Results. You can look in the comment stream right now, and you're going to see a link that'll take you right over there to her amazing course. She also teaches entrepreneurs, business executives, and marketing professionals how powerful Instagram for business can be. Sue's also a serial entrepreneur who's launched several successful retail product lines. Her current company, Suebdo, is a product line of preppy clothing, jewelry, and accessories that's synonymous with the character of Cape Cod, Martha's Vineyard, Nantucket, and that's what really sets Sue apart. She's not just selling concepts and ideas as a social media marketer. She's using these ideas, these tactics, these tricks, these strategies in her small business to produce proven results. Sue B. Zimmerman, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me here. It's quite an intro, huh?
Well, it's fun when you got the celebs in. You gotta pump them up right? Pimp them out. So here we go. We're gonna skip today's Twitter question because Sue's got some amazing Instagram giveaways that we're going to be talking about here in a minute. And I want to make one quick announcement that I am super excited about our podcast launch party that's going on. Go ahead and look in the comment stream, and you're going to see a link that's going over there. We've got giveaways. We're giving away some really great stuff. Shannon Hernandez is going to be with us next week. If you know Shannon Hernandez, you know how much fun that's going to be for that podcast giveaway. Look in the comment stream right now to head on over to the link to enter to win. And Sue, you've got some giveaways for us at the end of this show, right?
Yeah, so should I announce it right now?
Please, yeah. How do we win?
Yes, so you all have to stay on to the end to win this, which is going to be an Insta Bio. It's a $300 value where I go in and I actually create the perfect bio for you, and here's how you're going to be able to win this. You have to take a screenshot or a screen capture of us talking at any point. It can be like right now. And share it over to Instagram and @mention Sue B. Zimmerman, which is my handle, and @mention, yours is On Track Tips. On Track Tips. So we're going to @mention Jason, @mention mine, and use the hashtag. You might be able to see it here, InstaGalLive. So those are your 3 steps for us to be able to see it. And the person who actually posts the most creative post on Instagram is going to win a free bio, which is a $300 value.
Right, and I think didn't you also have a white paper that you're going to be handing out?
Yeah, you want to announce that?
Yeah, this is really great stuff. This is Sue B. Zimmerman's Insta Results worksheet. So not only are you going to win that $300 bio, but you're going to also get the Sue B. Zimmerman's Insta Results worksheet, and that comes directly out of her course. Again, the link is in the description. So, hey, let's get right into this interview. I know there's a ton of people, small business owners, that want to understand, how do I use Instagram for my small business? It seems like there's this pervasive trend that Instagram is really just, it's not really a marketer's platform. What can you say to that? Is this a place for marketers to get involved in?
Well, this is what I always say, Jason. I say, if you are in business and you have a pulse, you need to be on Instagram. It doesn't matter what business you have, because as you said in the introduction, I have a product-based business. I have a retail store, but I also have a service-based business through my Sue B. Zimmerman enterprise business. And, I can create a hashtag strategy, posting strategy for any person or business on Instagram, depending on what their goals are.
Yeah, I like what Angelica is saying here. She says, I'm looking forward to this because we were just discussing Instagram for business and noting that many businesses and consultants are getting frustrated with Facebook. So we're looking for more effective alternatives. Thanks, Heather Crafter, for sharing and bringing this. Tell me, I know we don't like to compare Facebook to Instagram to Pinterest. I don't think that's really a valuable conversation. But what are some ways that you can leverage these two together, or Instagram and Facebook, or how do you use them instead of?
Yeah, I'm not saying instead of, but I can definitely relate to Heather's comment because I too struggle with my engagement over on Facebook unless I'm paying to get that exposure. So with Instagram, one of the great values of it is that you can share your posts over to Facebook, and you don't have to share it as soon as you post it to Instagram. You can wait for that engagement to die down on Instagram and share it at any time, or you can go back to old posts and share them over to Facebook or Twitter. And so what happens with that is, you have different followers on different platforms. So for me, and so much of the success of Instagram is by sharing it to multiple platforms and bringing people over who are following me on Facebook to start following me on Instagram. And by the way, my Instagram communities, and I have an S there because I have 6 different accounts, and don't call me crazy. I have an account because they each have a different strategy. And the secret to the success on Instagram, I believe, Jason, is really to define your market niche. Like, what are you an expert at? And how are you different from everyone else that's doing what you're different? And share that story visually in a compelling way where you are giving value on every single post. Now, define value. So value for me is how you're capturing my attention with the video or the photo, and then the description below of what you're writing in addition to that can add value as well. But initially, you're really drawing people in from the visual story that you're telling. And by using some of these amazing third-party apps, some that are free and some that you pay for, you can enhance that experience. There are 20 filters on Instagram, and there are hundreds and hundreds of apps that can make your post stand out from everyone else in the same space.
All right, let's break this down a little bit for us. We like bullet points here at On Track Tips. So what we're going to do is we talked in the green room about some 5 points that we want to talk about. Then we call them what? Sue's 5 favorite firecracker tips for Instagram. What do you think of that?
I like it. Firecrackers. Yeah.
How to explode your business, right? In a good way. All right. So the first one that you wanted to talk about was bio. You got some tips and some tricks and some strategies for us to optimize our bios?
Yeah. So people land on your page or on your account, and the first thing they see is your bio. So you want to make sure that you have a compelling bio that really resonates to attract your ideal follower. And with that comes a great photo of you or your logo, but I always suggest you on Instagram unless you're a brand. And I also want people to understand that you have 150 characters to use. In addition to using your keywords, you can use the emojis, which really can add value to who you are and what you do if you use them strategically. And if you look at all of my accounts, I do use them in a way that's playful and that works into the keywords that we're talking about.
I want to stop you there because I heard you say that before. How can emojis be strategic? What is it you're actually trying to accomplish with an emoji?
Okay, so there's an emoji, for example, of a finger pointing down, which basically tells you to click that link, which is the hyperlink, your URL in your bio, without saying click here. So because you only have 150 characters, it's a way to shorten things that you are saying. Someone might be a surfer, and instead of writing the word surfer, they have a picture of a surfer. Or someone might be in the health and wellness space and use an apple or a banana to represent that space. Make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense. And the thing that I struggle with those is I'm not very nimble. I'm a programmer. I sit behind a desktop all day long. I'm not a mobile kind of guy. So I have a lot of trouble just posting to Instagram. It's the time that it takes. So that seems very bulky and difficult for me. What could you say to somebody like me that wants to enter into Instagram? How can I make that transition a little more smooth and easier to be able to manipulate the posting process of Instagram?
Okay, so first of all, you need to have your phone in your hand more often. So it's like this is your secret to your success is your mobile device. If you're not gonna use your mobile device, there is a great tool, a web-based tool called Schedulegram, where you can schedule your posts, and we do use that for 3 of our 6 accounts. So if you are the type of person that just can't imagine figuring out what to post on Instagram, then that is something I recommend. For me, posting on Instagram comes so easily. It doesn't feel like work or one more thing I have to do. Case in point, if you go to my Instagal Live account, I just quickly posted a picture of Jason and I in the green room telling everyone that we're here live on a Hangout, and it took me 45 seconds to create that post, share it on Twitter, and get some conversation. And can I quickly give a shout out, because I love that people are listening from Instagram. Valerie Van S immediately commented seconds after I posted it on Instagram that she can't wait to be on the Google Hangout. So how cool is that?
Awesome. That's very, very cool. Hey, and speaking of which, we were having some questions right now about how to enter into that contest, so I want to make sure that everybody has a chance, and we're going to repeat that. Chris Wilson, thank you for repeating it. It's take a creative screenshot, tag Sue Zimmerman, hashtag Suebdo Zimmerman, and hashtag OnTrackTips, and or at OnTrackTips, and hashtag Instagal Live. The main part here is the picture and the Instagal Live. Let's get those two in there.
Yeah, thank you, Chris. That was well done.
Yeah, and so now hashtags. I think that's an important one to move over to. Hashtags seem to be, there's a lot of talk about them and new strategies and how to use them. All the social media networks are using them now. I think Instagram uses them more than anybody else. What are your talks about some of the Instagram hashtags?
Hashtag true. So you can use up to 30 hashtags in each post on Instagram. And I recommend not using them in your initial description, but using them in the secondary comments, because one of the cool things that you can do, Jason, on Instagram is swipe those hashtags and refresh the post with different hashtags. And just to let the listeners know, I've got this great YouTube video playlist on my channel, Suebdo Zimmerman, where I tell you exactly how to go through the process of doing this. So we'll save some time here so I don't go through this step by step. But the hashtags, you want to come up with your top 30 keywords, your hashtags that you use in your industry. And you want to also come up with some of yours that are unique to you. For example, my Instagal Live one. And I also have hashtag SueBTips. And if you search that on Instagram, you will see posts of all the Instagram tips that I teach on Instagram in one feed. So you essentially curate content within the hashtag. So if you use broad hashtags like Instagram marketing, social media marketing, SMM, other people all over the world are using that as well. So your post is going to move in that feed very quickly. When you come up with unique hashtags where you can dominate the hashtag curation, your account will stay top of mind because you have the most photos in that feed and people will come back to you. So I know that in the Instagal Live feed, that is a community that I created after teaching on Creative Live. It is my most active hashtag feed, and I love going there to see content of people that are creating within the community of Instagal Live.
I think that's it's great to understand hashtags, and not just on Instagram, but for all platforms, and because those hashtags are being used everywhere. And I think that's important, exactly like you said, you have a very strategic reason for what hashtags you're using. I see people using hashtags a lot of time as almost like a joke or emoticon itself, like this, hey, what's up, how's it going? Hashtag, hey, what's up, how's it going? Well, who's going to look for that? Nobody's going to find that. So I like what you're saying. Find 25 hashtags that really fit your business, that are going to help attract you and put you into those niches when people are searching, as well as capturing your own hashtag, right?
Right, and I want to say one more thing on the topic of hashtags. I'm not suggesting that you put all 30 hashtags in one comment after you write your description. The ideal number is like 8 to 11, and making sure that you mix both the hashtags that people would be searching in your industry to find you, as well as some that are unique to you. And that is really the way to strategically post them, and then keeping them in notes on your cell phone so you can quickly copy and paste them. To Jason's point, it's bulky. I'm on my Mac all day. I'm on my computer all day. How do I do this easily? well, you need it to be doing it on your mobile, quite frankly, I think is the easiest place. But if you're going to be efficient and effective on your mobile and really strategic with your time, copy and paste it over from your notes to the post. And I have multiple pages of different hashtag strategies depending on what content I'm posting.
Oh, that's fantastic. Hey, you're listening to Get On Track, Stay On Track, and we're helping your small business one expert at a time. We're here with our expert this week, Suebdo Zimmerman, and we're talking about Instagram strategies for small business. We've talked about some bio strategies, some hashtag strategies. We've got a couple more bullet points we're going to hit. We got a contest that's going on over on Instagram. Take a screenshot and use the hashtag InstaGalLive. And also, here for our newsletter listeners, or for our subscribers, it's time to answer the secret question. The third person that answers the secret question, you found the answer to the secret question in the newsletter. If you want to get future secret, we're going to be doing giveaways throughout our whole podcast launch. So for the next 6 weeks, we're going to be giving away great things. So be watching ontracktips.com, look for the big red button, push it, and you're going to be getting that secret answer to the secret question. All right, so let's get back to the show. Posting was number 3, Sue. You had said a posting strategy for Instagram. What do we need to know?
Yeah, so there's so many different posting strategies, and I really dive in deep to many in my course, but let's quickly touch on a few. So as you know, kudos to we have 2 people over on Instagram that have already posted. Katie gave a great post, and we also have I just want to give a shout out to these people that are actually posting here. Petals and Rice. So with posting strategies, you can post events that you're either attending or you are speaking at. So this to me is a great event. I posted it to Instagram so that hopefully I could bring some of my followers over to Jason's community to start watching this hangout, and it worked. So events is one great strategy. Another strategy that so many people like to see is behind the scenes. Like, you would have got a kick out of Jason and I if you watched us yesterday. He was teaching me, like, plug the Ethernet, where's the snowball, make sure that your webcam's on. I'm like, okay, tell me how. And so we figured it all out together, but the behind the scenes is kind of playful and fun, and people really like to know if you're a creator, how did you create that jewelry, what is it that you're doing with your tools, if you are in the foodie industry, how did you make that smoothie, show me what your office looks like, show me just behind the scenes of your day-to-day of how you're running your business. That would be a second posting strategy. A third one is thought leaders or people who inspire you. On my Suebdo Zimmerman account, I recently posted, Chris Drucker has a new book out called Virtual Freedom, and I'm listening to it on Audible. So I took a screenshot of that image. I shared it over on Instagram, and guess who commented right away? Chris Drucker. And it's pretty cool. I mean, you can really mention, tag, and get people's attention very quickly if you know how to do it strategically with your posting strategy. So whether it's a book you're listening to on Audible or if it's a book that you're reading, those are other great ways to showcase thought leaders that you admire and respect. People like to know that you're investing in your space and always an active learner. So that's, those are ways that I show other people what I'm like, where I learn from.
Yeah, that brings us to the engagement side of it. So let's continue. I think these two kind of flow into each other. So you've got the posting strategy good. So now how do you spark that engagement? I think there's going to be some cross points here.
Yeah, so the engagement, often the engagement happens after you've used your hashtag strategy. For me, engagement happens on every post in the comments right away because I've attracted my ideal followers to my account. But it takes a while to build that community. So when I was first on Instagram using it, I would post the hashtags after that first description to try to lure them in. People that are searching those hashtags would find me. Now I can wait till about 6 or 8 comments and then put my hashtags there to keep the engagement interactive and constant. But the engagement comes when you give value. When people like what you're sharing and they take the time not just to double tap and like it, which is the easiest thing to do, I want to see the engagement in the comments. To me, that's the gold. The double taps, it's like, how many likes did you get? That's being a teenager and saying, I got 100 likes showing my outfit of the day. I could care less about that. I really want the engagement. But I will say this, that when people like your post and you do want the double tap, you can go into the button, the second one from the right, which is the notification button, and when you click on news, you get to see, when you click on following, you get to see what the people that you are following, what they're liking. So this is one of the reasons that a lot of people tell you to double tap and like, because some people like to see what their friends are doing and people that they know, like, and respect are doing, and they say, gosh, if, Stacy Cafe Photography liked this post, and this post, and I'm a photographer, I should check out those posts too, because I know, like, and trust Tracy, and she's a rock star photographer. Or Get Fit with Joy, if she starts liking something in her fitness space and I respect her and it's going to give me a fitness tip, most likely I'll go over and check out that account. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. And I think that the big question that many business owners, marketers ask is, how do we turn that engagement and those hashtags and all of the activity that we're doing, how do we convert that into clients, to sales? What is the call to action? There's only one link that I can see on Instagram. How do I drive traffic to my web properties?
Yeah, so that is a great question, and I change up the URL in my bio frequently. So if I want to send someone to an opt-in page or to my one-to-one Instagram coaching or to my Creative Live course, I will change that up frequently. I want to say here that in the bio, and we didn't really say this when we talked about bios, it's super important to create a custom bio. I use Bitly to always track the engagement from the URL back to where I'm directing people, and I look at my stats there. So that's really important to create custom Bitly. So many people don't turn their URL into a custom Bitly. And I track engagement. I have a little system that I use where I do keep track of every new follower, and I do communicate with them via direct messaging, which is an advanced thing to teach here on the Hangout. But I have a way of converting every single follower to my opt-in, to my email list, and growing my list. And it's simply by communicating with them and building trust and telling them, if they want to get more tips, what to do. So I also know, because I do a lot of coaching, a lot of people ask me questions on Instagram, and I will say, if you're struggling with your hashtag strategy or your posting strategy, book a one-to-one power hour Instagram strategy with me. And I have converted over 20 people into coaching them and having them pay me from what I offer them on Instagram.
And the other thing that I've heard you say before in some of your other interview or keynotes or talks is that about how loyal Instagram followers are. So though we don't have that direct marketing access to like inundate them like we do on Twitter with link, and hopefully we shoot enough arrows at the target, we're going to make one stick. Instagram, you get them to click, they're pretty committed, eh?
They're committed because there's an effort to clicking, and they're clicking in with purpose. They are actively choosing to do so themselves and wanting to know more of what you do. So whether they're liking your content, they're landing on your website, and they came there with a little bit more effort. So there's more intention of what they want to get from you. And I have experienced success on all of my accounts. Now, success for me is not always money. Success for me is also building a rich community that really is a champion for each other's success within the community, and it eventually converts to money. It's not immediate. Return on investment is a soft return on investment. It's not literally tracking it from a post and saying, oh, I just made money from this post I did. Well, that post for me sometimes goes over to Facebook, and someone will message me and say, I need your services. This is amazing. So it's the exponential reach that you can get from a post. And to people that are listening that are struggling over on Facebook, I can't tell you enough how the engagement is like on steroids on Instagram if you do it with the right strategies. And it's a happy place. Everyone I know that's on Instagram loves Instagram. I know this because I ask everyone that comes in my store, I say, are you on Instagram? And they smile, they look at me, and they're like, I love Instagram. And I'll say, why do you love Instagram? And they say, it's just such a happy place. And that is the energy of the platform. I don't find there's a lot of spamming going on, and I don't tolerate it if there is. I, delete that comment or get rid of that, block that follower. But for the most part, it's just a really happy place to be.
Yeah, and what you're talking about here is basically what we've heard from many other different social media guests that we've had. Every one of them says, you need to be on Facebook if they're a Facebook expert, and they'll explain why. But all of the bottom line is community. It's taking the time to go in and find people that are engaged with your content and that you can create a community with. So that begs the question of you personally, Sue. How active are you on all other networks?
I'm very active. You need to understand, everyone needs to understand, like, I have this visual brain that can connect the social media buttons very easily. I always have ever since I started on Facebook. So I'm very active on Twitter. I use, Sprout Social Sprout to queue up at least 30 tweets a day, but I also tweet and engage in real time. We post to Facebook. I do struggle there with content and engagement, to be honest. I am loving Google Plus and this community, thanks to Martin Shervington and, Ryan Hanley and Mia Voss and, some of these early, people that I met at Social Media Marketing World. I think this community is just so rich with amazing minds and people that just have big hearts, and that's why I just love doing any kind of hangouts with people like Jason. And I'm on Pinterest, and I've dropped off the Pinterest. I don't spend time there like I used to because I get so much more value out of the time I spend on Instagram.
I'm sorry, forgive me for cutting you off there, Sue, but that's exactly what I was kind of getting at. Is I want our listeners to walk away with this notion that you can't be everywhere. You just simply don't have enough bandwidth. You've got a business to run.
Right.
So you can't be on Instagram and Pinterest and Facebook and doing all the great. Pick which one works for your business and really dive deep in, curate a community, genuine engagement. We hear it all the time, more so I think here at Google+, but it's refreshing to hear you say it also about your community at Instagram. Yeah. Which brings me up to this question here, and we're going to do our lightning round. We literally have 2 minutes left, so we're going to just quick answers here, okay? So Jody is asking, and it's not coming up for us right now, but Jody Okun, welcome to the show, is asking, my brand is not very visual. What can I do in 30 seconds?
So you can elicit an emotion, because so many people that are in the space of not selling products ask me this all the time. So inspirational quotes get a ton of engagement, and I say you make sure they align with your brand and don't just grab a quote to grab a quote and throw up a quote, but make sure that they're branded in a way that is resonating with who you are and what you're doing. Also, the emotional feeling you get, whether you're stacking Zen rocks or there's a gorgeous sunset or a picture at the beach. People connect with garden photos and flowers and beautiful nature and dogs, and I'm not saying just throw those pictures up. I'm saying in the description you can say what that means to you when you look at that visual image. Does that make sense?
It does. And Dr. Yvonne Ferrero asks very simply, can I use Instagram for psychology? That's my market.
Well, my sister-in-law is a psychologist, so I understand your market, and I'm sure you make people feel so good all the time when they leave your office. And, whether there are testimonials that they're saying or, inspirational art that you have in your office or, again, back to this joy and feeling and lightheartedness of the progress that they're making from visiting you as a patient and to feeling, like they're getting through the overwhelm or the stress in their life or whatever they're struggling with. You don't literally need to show a picture of someone struggling. Show a picture of someone that's overcome struggling and what that feels like.
Yeah, interesting. And we've got 2 more yes/no questions for you. The first one is, should I separate my product from my personal Instagram? My
It all
brand to my
depends on the
personal.
product and how much personal photos that you're showing. So usually the strategy that I work through with my clients is to have a featured account and a personal account.
Yeah, very good. And then lastly, Chris Wilson, although we don't have time to answer the question, hopefully, Sue, you can give him some tips and pointers in the stream. He wants to know about how to use video on Instagram. And then one other question about auto posting. How well do you auto connect your Instagram to Facebook, to Twitter to create this chain of auto posts?
No, okay, so first, Video Hance is my favorite video app. Ben Wong, the app developer, was on my Creative Live show. Awesome app. Also, there is Pick, Play, Post. So those are two where I want to direct you to. They both cost money, not much money at all, under $5, totally worth it. And I don't recommend doing auto posting on anything because it's like too spammy, I think. And what the content that you're sharing on Instagram should be contained in Instagram, and you should only decide which, certain photos to share over and not every photo, so that people will want to keep feeling like your Instagram content is special when
Your
they get
Instagram
there.
content is special, and that's what Sue has been talking with us today about here at how to use Instagram strategies for your small business marketing. As I begin to wrap up here, Sue's going to start looking for our winner over there on that Instagram contest that she offered, and we're going to be she's giving away her Sue B. Zimmerman's Insta Results Worksheet. And anybody that, I only saw a couple answers, so it tells me people are not opening up the newsletter. Get over to the newsletter. Head on over to ontracktips.com. Look for the big red button and push it. Folks, I know that there was a number of people that opened it, but you're either not here at the show or you didn't read the secret answer. So I'm going to give it a little bit longer, give a couple people to give us the secret answer to the question, and you're going to win yourself a Get on Track Tips coffee mug. Something simple and fun, but just our way of saying we really appreciate our listeners. Sue, do you have our winner over on the Instagram
I do,
contest?
and I don't know their names, but it's an awesome picture. Can I show it, and can you see it? Remac_Edge. Isn't that so creative?
Awesome. And so we're going to grab that. We're going to make sure to grab that picture and bring it over here and post it to our event page too. And then Remap, make sure you get in contact with Sue to be able to claim your prize. I want to say big, huge thank you to Sue B. Zimmerman today. Sue, where can people find you if they want more information from you?
Yeah, sure. So my website, SueBZimmerman.com, and I am one of the lucky few who have my name on every single platform. So you can just come on over there, find me on Instagram, everywhere else, Sue B. Zimmerman, #.
Excellent. And there's also, go and look in the comment stream right now, and there's those links to her Instagram product that you can go and grab a copy of. Thank you so much, Sue, and we'll be looking forward to all our next interviews coming up. We've got some fantastic guests coming up. We've got Pam Marketing Nut Moore. We've got Jay Baer coming on the show. Cynthia Sanchez is signed up. So make sure you get on over to ontracktips.com, and we'll give you those reminders of our upcoming events. We're saying goodbye to our guest for this week, Sue B. Zimmerman. What a joy it was to have you here. We'll see you next time.
#.
Bye.